right, you guys asked for it. Hunter has his Bronco out here this morning. Had a lot of people in the comments. They seen this thing sitting in the shop earlier this summer, I guess later this summer, right before he went to school. Yep. Wanting to see more on this Bronco. This is Hunter's Bronco. He's only 14 years old. When did we get this?
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago. You would have been 12?
Mm-hmm.
So we got this where at? Cody, Wyoming.
Yep.
So this Bronco originally come from Wyoming. If you keep an eye on our channel, you notice we like these old Fords and stuff. So we try to go out west and pick these things up where they're not rusted. You can see this one doesn't have any rust. It does have rock chips and stuff like that on it, but it's a good solid body. If you know these things, they like to rust out, especially in the rear tailgate area. But this one has its dents and dings and bruises, but it's very clean and solid for sure. So what do you want to tell them about it? What all we do to it?
Put some Dana 61-ton axles under it.
So we took the running gear out of the actually the blue crew cab Ford truck. If you guys seen it in the back, it has no axles. That's where they come from. So it's got Dana 60 front and a Ford 10 1/4 in the rear. And what else? It's got something really cool under the hood, doesn't it?
4-cylinder.
It's got a little 4-cylinder on the hood. You want to pop the hood and show them?
Yeah.
So this thing's all riding on 1-ton suspension and stuff. We done away with the twin traction beam. It's got leaf springs up here. We actually made all the brackets and stuff in-house on our plasma cutter for it. All the leaf spring hangers. It's got about a, I'd say 6 or 7 inch lift on it. It's running 37 inch Cooper tires on 17 inch wheels. Is that right?
That's right.
Yep. So, what we got going on under here?
A lot.
A lot?
A lot.
So he's just got a little 4-cylinder in here. This is actually a Ford BT Cummins out of a FedEx truck, I think. This is one of the later models, around 2000, I think. It's got the P pump on it. We've done a few goodies to it too, haven't we?
We have.
We have. It's got a intercooler in the front of it. So it's originally it was 120 horsepower. I don't know what we're putting out now. We're probably putting close to 200.
Probably.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but the torque is what gets these things down the road. You want to tell these people what happened to the original clutch in this thing?
Well, you bought a clutch.
We bought a clutch right here for 500 foot-pounds, I
500
think.
foot-pounds.
They told me that would be fine.
We put it in, and it started slipping.
Immediately, with not even with the fuel turned up.
So we got a new clutch.
So we got a bigger clutch from South Bend, so we do know it's making over 500 foot-pounds of torque. I'm guessing it's making close to 6 or so. So that's what makes these things a monster. But this thing actually gets down the road really well. It's got we put a 5-speed transmission in it out of the same era Ford, so it's all manual. It's got what's the seats out of?
2020 Super Duty.
2020 Super Duty seats. Hunter's kind of redone the interior. They've actually been driving at school, Tucker has. So they like driving this because it gets better fuel mileage than anything else we've got. So believe it or not, what's it? Have you guys checked it yet?
Not yet. No, we need to.
I'd say it's getting over 20 miles a gallon pretty easy. So, but pretty cool little rig for sure. So what are we getting ready to do to it today?
I forgot what it's called.
We got a brake line.
No.
We got a brake line leak, and we've got a steering stabilizer. So
Oh yeah.
it's got a little bit of, with the bigger tires, you can feel a little bit of shake in the wheels. So steering stabilizer, we'll show you how it goes on. It's going to be 2 shocks that go there and kind of dampens the steering on there. So give it that cool monster truck look, huh?
Yep, like it already has.
So yeah, there it is. It's something we built there over the last couple years in the shop. It's been off camera. It's kind of before we was doing the YouTube thing. So, but it's a stout little Bronco for sure. Kind of cool. We've actually got a couple other Broncos too. Tucker's got a silver one he drives, and I've got a 4-door Bronco. So pretty rare. You want to get that dude fired up and pull her in the shop?
Sure.
You might want to show them your cool feature when you get in the shop. So this motor can run with no electronics. We've actually got the kill switch hooked up to something super cool in here. If you notice, it's still got the automatic shifter in there. When he pulls it in the shop, we'll show you how we shut it off. You want to tell them what that shifter handle's off of?
Dozer.
John Deere 850.
850.
hard to drive with your broken foot, huh?
A little bit.
So you want to show them how we shut it off?
The manual or the automatic, I guess.
So we left the automatic shifter in it because this thing was actually automatic, and we put the manual in it. So we actually used the cable for the shifter and tied up the injection pump and used it as a mechanical shut off. So definitely pretty cool. So if you want to park it and leave that thing down and drive, you can, and eliminate anybody starting it till they see this video. All right, we got a little brake line leaking up under there. We're gonna fix it, and then we've got a steering stabilizer kit over here. Tucker's got more dirt bike parts you're painting. We've got a steering stabilizer kit here we got from CP from Performance. Some new Bilstein shocks for it. You guys not seen, definitely want to check on this little project going on here. There's plenty of videos on the Power Stroke build for sure. So you ready to get to it?
I think so.
Alright, we got our little brake line fixed. Did have to bleed out the front brakes there. Wasn't gonna bore you guys with that, but we are gonna put on this steering stabilizer setup. Looks pretty cool here. We got some cool parts laid out, don't we?
That's right.
That's right. We'll get down there and show you guys how this works. Basically, this piece is gonna mount on the axle, and we're gonna have a steering stabilizer going out here both ways, and then these will actually just clamp onto the tie rods there. So that's the plan anyway. So
yep.
I think one thing we got to do is get these probably sitting in the center. The situation, they didn't give us any instructions for this, dude, so
good.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we're gonna have to get these things kind of sitting in the center of stroke and the measurement, and then we'll mount stuff up. That clamps are on your axle, and I think these two go through your front cover, diff cover there. So
Okay.
look like fun.
Sounds like fun.
Okay. Alright, so we're down under the truck here. This bracket here, Hunter, is going on those two bolts up there. So you have to take those two out where that data tag is.
Okay.
And then these steering stabilizers are going to sit on here somehow like that, mounting out, and I don't know. First thing to do is get those bolts out. What are they, 9/16?
Look like it.
Oh. We have to move that tag somewhere else. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
You got your tag on the top side, you put it underneath?
I put it on the top, it just slid underneath.
Yeah. That's what I see.
Let me go and snug those up.
I'd say go ahead and tighten them, yeah.
Tighten
Yeah, a
them.
little bit more. That looks good. All right, so we got those on there. So these had what, 9 inches of travel?
Yeah.
So we got to suck them in 4.5 inches, I believe, and put our mounts on. So we'll get a measurement, get the mounts bolted up, and then get these things attached.
Okay.
All right, we got her bolted on there. We got the shock sitting about 19.5 inches, center of the stroke on each one of those. So,
Oh yeah, that looks good.
you like that? Looking good. So next thing to do is start her up and turn it left to right and see what it does. You want to fire her up?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go ahead and turn it. The other way. Looks good. Let me see if it's hitting the bump stops. Good. Straighten it back up. I think you got her hit the bump stops on each side, so we're not stroking out the shocks.
Good.
I think it's looking good. Now we just got a big mess to clean up. And you straighten up that one boot, and then we'll take her outside and take her for a little spin. All right, we're gonna hop in this dude and take her for a little drive. You guys want to see a little action, hang around here, but we do appreciate you watching. So hopefully that suited you guys a little quick walk around. There's lots of little things we've done to this thing, but guys got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I'll link the steering stabilizer in the description below where we got that and all that stuff from. So it seems to be pretty cool. We'll take it for a drive and see. So what do you think?
Pretty cool.
So you guys see these kids, my kids of mine on these videos working on this stuff. They've learned from working on stuff like this. So you see them in the shop helping and thinking they naturally just jumped onto it. Well, they've had a little previous experience anyway. So they've learned how to work on their own stuff. Hunter actually owns this. You guys see them out there working in the summertime. They actually buy these vehicles, and sometimes I help them out with parts, I will say that. But they've got dirt bikes, trucks and stuff, and they work for them and pay for them. But they're out here every day during the summer working with stuff. So we'll get this dude fired up and take it for a drive. If you guys like what you've seen, give me a big thumbs up. It helps out a lot. Leave some comments what you thought. So Hunter actually picked up another truck you guys may have seen in the last video, a 77 Ford Highboy too. Pretty cool. So if you guys want to see some stuff on that, comment below about the old Highboy. We got a few things. We're going to kind of leave it stock and whatnot, but we got to do a few things to it. So let us know if you want to see more on it. So we'll see you guys next time.